So can you give us that perspective of what kept bringing you back?
To me, Special Olympics is basically like my second family. And just getting to know everybody. I've made so many friends. Like, I feel I just have this huge Special Olympics family. And every time we get together, at practice or seeing them at regionals or at state, it's always just so exciting. And you're going to have a great time. You'll be surprised. And I guarantee you, absolutely will have a great time. You will have an excellent time and you'll make friends and family for life.
Welcome to the Special Olympics Wisconsin podcast, Athlete Voice. We are so happy to have you join us and coming and listening to the stories of our athletes of the Special Olympics Wisconsin movement and all of the vitally important work we are doing here in Wisconsin. I'm Addie Teeters, and I'm really excited to welcome my co-partner in crime here, Ed Castern. Edward, hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We're excited for our guest today, though, Ed, aren't we?
She's a coach. She's a volunteer. She's a friend. Well, maybe a sassy friend, but her name is Becky. She's been volunteering, for as long as I can remember. And she's a mentor to me because I look up to her and a role model. So.
Well, she's very much a role model to me as well. Becky, hi, welcome.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
And that was quite the introduction by Ed, but every single thing he said is true. You're involved in so many different facets of the Special Olympics movement, all on a volunteer basis. You're an absolute rock star. Why don't you kind of take us back to the beginning of how did you get involved in this movement?
Well, I have been in my place of employment here at U.S. Bank for about 19 years now. And they have always offered us 2 paid volunteer days a year to use as we choose. And way back, I think it was maybe a year or two after I started here at the bank, we used to help, U.S. Bank specifically would help run the food service at the spring games at UW Oshkosh, because it's right near my building here. And so I signed up to volunteer for the food shift on a Friday evening. And it just kind of snowballed from there, quite honestly. I did just that for about a year or two, and then they asked me if I wanted to be part of the GMT for our region, and it just snowballed from there. And now I do GMT, I do for the state level, some of our regionals, and then I also coach with Nina, and I am a unified bocce player with Nina. Go Ballzillas. And yeah, and now I'm also got selected to be assistant volleyball coach for Team Wisconsin for the upcoming USA Games. So very exciting.
It's incredible, Becky. And can you used the term GMT. Talk about that.
Well, for us, the GMT is the Games Management Team. Each region has a GMT that helps to run their events, like for track. Someone will help with setting up awards. People will help with doing announcements. I do staging. That's my big thing at pretty much all the games, is I like to do staging and get all the athletes lined up and ready to go for their events. GMT will do things like when you do long jump, they will be the ones that help measure things like that. So we just help to make sure the events run smoothly and that everybody has a great time.
Well, and I can speak from experience, Becky, you are such a pro. When my family goes to these events and they volunteer, even my husband and kids say, if you have a question, ask Becky. So you have everyone well trained.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
And Becky, can you go into staging a little bit? Because when I think of staging can be pretty chaotic because there's a lot of athletes asking a lot of questions, like where do I go? What division am I in? There's a lot to go into staging. It's not just getting them ready, because sometimes a volunteer might bring them up and be like, "Oh, I don't know what division they're in. Where do they go? What do they do?"
Yes, it can get really crazy because not only are the athletes asking questions, but you'll have coaches asking questions. Sometimes parents or other fans are coming to ask questions too, because they don't know, like, when their athlete or person they're here to support is running or walking or whatever you may be doing. So a lot of it is just making sure people hear you. That's a very important thing. So usually I'm lucky enough to have a speaker too that works, but sometimes I just have to yell, which I'm also very good at. So that's not usually an issue. I've been told that I'm of a very loud person in general.
A human megaphone, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes, yes. That's been used several times. So a lot of times, like we try to my goal is to get you ready for your race ahead of time. So that way we run along with the schedule. We're not running far behind, anything like that. My other goal is not to lose anybody, which I've only done maybe once or twice, but it wasn't directly my fault. So I don't know if I'll take the blame for that. But like, let's say at track or swimming, what we'll do is I'll make an announcement that we're going to be staging usually about 5 or 6 divisions ahead of time. And then I'll have everybody come over and kind of get in a line, and I will have volunteers spaced out for for the different lanes that you're going to be in. And then I'll help with getting you into your lane and with the volunteer. And then we kind of double check to make sure you're in the right spot. Sometimes people have a hard time staying still, so we got to make sure to kind of keep you in that row. And then we just keep moving you up until it's your turn to run. And, it's just giving that friendly reminder, like specifically for walkers, that we always say walk, don't run, and different things like that. But
and we
it's
also
so
have
much
an
fun.
opportunity to do encouragement too, right? That's kind of our
Yes.
our last opportunity to pump people up and get them ready for that spirit of competition. And if someone's a little nervous, we help them out, right? And volunteers are doing all of that, right, Becky?
Absolutely. Yes. It's especially because sometimes you'll have those athletes where it's the first time they've ever done this before. So, and a lot of times they're nervous. Like at track, some people are afraid from the noise from the gun and things like that. So it's just being able to provide that reassurance and encouragement so they can have the best race they can.
And take us back, Becky, to really that first feeling or that first tug that said, I have to be a part of this and I want to give my time to this, because Ed and I are always talking to folks, whoever will listen to us, that if you just volunteer once, we promise you'll want to come back. We promised you'll be hooked. And so can you give us that perspective of what kept bringing you back?
Oh, it's hard to pinpoint it to one thing because there's so many different aspects. Like to me, Special Olympics is basically like my second family. Um, I remember when I first did it, I was a little nervous because you don't really know what you're getting into and everything. But once you get to know someone, like chatting with the volunteers, especially if it's someone who's done it before, that'll just kind of walk you through what to expect. And then just meeting the athletes and getting to chat with them. And they're always so happy and excited. And they want to tell you about how their game went, or, what they're excited about that's coming up yet for different events and things like that. And just getting to know everybody. I've made so many friends, and basically, like I said, it's like a family. Like I feel I just have this huge Special Olympics family, and every time we get together, whether it's just at practice or seeing them at regionals or at state, it's always just so exciting, and you're going to have a great time.
And Becky, do you have a favorite event that you particularly like? Do you like the basketball, bowling, or do you like the whole Keel and Kabang, as they call it?
It's hard to pinpoint it to one thing. I think GMT wise, I would say staging at track is my favorite because it always starts out a little crazy, but then it just kind of works itself out. And it's just so much fun because you get to see so many of the different athletes from around the state that you don't get to see very often. So I love that. And then coaching basketball, which I've done for, I think this is my 3rd year now. It's so much fun. Like I didn't realize like how competitive I still am until I started coaching basketball. And it's so much fun because I coach a lot of the younger athletes. For NINA, it's the part of the NINA schools program. So it's a lot of like the middle school and high school kids. And some of them are just learning. They've never played before, like in a team setting. So it's so exciting and fun to just watch them grow and learn the sport and learn to work as a team. practices are always fun because, we goof around a little bit more in practice probably than we do in the games. So it's just every aspect. There's always positives.
Yeah, I was gonna say you coached the team, and I know that you watched me done skills before. What do you like about the skills aspect? Because for basketball, there's for not many people that know that there's a low level competition too for skills. The ones that can't do the basketball and just want to do the skills and shooting and dribbling. And what do you like about that?
I love staging for that because it's another opportunity to get to see everybody before they do the competition. For me, it's a little bit hard because like I'm so busy staging. I don't usually get to watch you actually compete in the skills, but it's nice like the way they have everything set up now at UW Oshkosh is I can just kind of turn around and take a peek and see how everybody's doing. And like Ed, I usually do try to keep an eye on you, and make sure you're making those baskets and everything like that. But it's so fun to watch, and it's such a great opportunity for those that whether they can't or maybe aren't comfortable doing the team sport, they still have that opportunity to participate and still be part of the team even though you're competing individually.
Yeah, like I went to college at UWO and I got my degree from there. But this was the first year at the Cove Sports Center I ever made I made two three baskets. And I'm like, it took me a while to make baskets because when I'm sitting down, all I mean I can't use my legs like everybody else can. So when I'm competing, I'm relying on my arms as my second pair of legs. So it's harder. So and to have Jason watch it, and he's like, "It's the first time I've seen you ever made a basket," and I'm like, "Cause it's not easy to shoot sitting down. It's not easy to dribble
No,
sitting
not
down.
at
It's not
all.
easy
It's
to
amazing.
hit the square sitting down. It's gotta rely a lot on my arms. So
Yes, you must have the biggest guns of all of us
I think
to be
so.
able to do that, just to have that kind of just the energy and the strength to be able to do that. And it must take so much concentration because you really got to focus.
And Becky, I know folks are busy, right? We're all busy. We've all got things going on. And you have two young girls who are just like the sweetest kiddos in the world. I love it because this has become a whole family affair and everybody's always together. How have you found the time to be able to volunteer? Because I think that's one thing that Ed and I hear, maybe first from folks. I would love to help you out, but I just don't have the time. How have you figured out how to incorporate all of this into your work life, your mom life, and your volunteer work?
Well, mom life wise, I just bring the kids with me.
Yeah.
So, and it's they usually they do have a choice and they still want to come with. So it's something that I've, when they were little, I would just, wear them in one of those little baby carrying things and bring them with me to do everything. So it's just something that they've grown up with, and they're part of the Special Olympics family too, and they love coming and getting to know the athletes and cheering for everybody and seeing all the familiar faces. um Time wise, it's just, I don't know, we make time for it because it's something that is very important to us and it's a big part of our lives, so we make the time for it. Start like I said, starting off, it was because I was getting paid, I had time to use, so may as well try a few different things, and it just so happened that this ended up being what I love.
And what would you do to encourage other companies to do this? I mean, obviously your organization offers these volunteer days. How is this a benefit to kind of that work life and that culture for you and your team?
Well, it's wonderful. Like, it gets you out into the community. So, and when we go out like as a group or something, we'll do like smaller, like little projects around town and helping out with things. And we'll have like our US Bank volunteer shirt and things like that. So just wearing that, people recognize that you're with a company, and then they may ask questions about the company, and maybe they'll use your services for whatever it may be. So it's good promotion for the employer themselves. And it really encourages people to go out there and do something and find something that works for you. Like the way US Bank does it, you can volunteer for any organization that you want to. So it's just that, like, it's got to be like during work hours and that kind of thing. But like the possibilities are endless. So you can try something and it might not be a great fit, but you can volunteer somewhere else and find something that is a great fit. And, it just kind of goes from there.
You said you're very competitive. What drew you into the coaching aspect? Because you wear so many other hats for Special Olympics. So what drew you into coaching? Were you trying to live through you or there, but by being a coach, or do you still wish you were out on the floor and doing that?
I'm not a great basketball player, so I don't think I would rather be on the court. You guys are way, way better athletes than I ever was. But like, we'll blame it on Coach Chad because he, what is always like, oh, you should, come and watch us, and then come and watch us turned into, oh, you could stay and help out, and then it was like, hey, do you want to coach a team? So it we'll blame it on Coach Chad for Nina for me now being a coach of 3 years. But I love it. I love it. It's so much fun. I'm so glad I did it. I absolutely, yeah.
And then Becky, what challenges do you have being a coach? Because being a coach is a big responsibility because you're like the leader, and you gotta make sure everybody's heads in the game and stuff, because there's players that might get discouraged. Oh, I can't play. I can't do this or go up against this person because they might be twice the size of that other person or whatever, or he's teasing me or picking on me or whatever. So you got to make sure everybody's on the same page when you're a coach, and you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of different aspects. With coaching a younger team, the part about people being bigger than them is a common issue, because a lot of times we do play athletes that are older and bigger than us, size wise and age wise. So we always just encourage them to do their best and to try their hardest. At practice, we practice a lot of the basics, like dribbling when we're moving, passing it to teammates, how to pass it, whether it's a bounce pass or a chest pass, and practicing shooting from different distances. We learn like how to guard people and things like that. But it's also about just teaching them to be respectful, not only of each other and the people that they're teammates with, but also who you're playing against. It's teaching that, like, if someone like falls down or something, help them back up. It's about how to be a team player all the way around, not just your own team, but like the Special Olympics team as a whole. So there's a lot of different aspects to it.
And you also mentioned playing unified bocce. Can you talk about what it means to be a unified partner?
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Like for me, it's like my vacation weekend. Because I do bocce, so my team is 2 athletes, myself, and then this year we had one of our athletes, moms, was also on our team, which was super fun. But just being able to compete and like step out of the GMT and coach role and just enjoy the competition aspect of things is so much fun. It's great. Like when we go to fall games, which is when I compete for bocce, I get like the full athlete experience, because like I'm not there to coach, I'm not there to help set up or tear down or anything like that. I'm strictly there to compete. So it's just being able to chat with people. And when your team crushed mine at state, I don't think I've ever had more fun losing in my life. It was, it was nonstop.
But she can talk to smack, because she was talking smack before.
I have never seen two teams
so can you, Ed. Don't put it all on me there, buddy. So but it was so much fun. And it's like that with pretty much every team we compete with, where it's, you have friends, you still want to win, but you can also just compete and have fun and enjoy the time together. And then getting to do the different stations for healthy athletes is really cool. I like being able to take my athletes through that. It's a great opportunity. It's so much fun because it's less stressful. Like I don't have to worry coaching wise about like, do I have this filled out? Do I have that in paperwork wise? Things like that. GMT wise, I don't have to worry about like, is this set up correctly and everything? I just get to go have fun. And what more could you ask for?
I'm just glad. I'm glad we took down Dodge County in the championships. That was,
Dodge County, their bocce
they're
teams
very
are
tough. Very
legit.
tough.
They are extremely tough. So yes, we were, even though we lost to you, we were really proud that you guys got that gold medal and won.
I couldn't believe how stressed I was watching state bocce this year, you guys. You're right. All these teams show up. They're so good. It's so serious. I'm getting sweaty just thinking about it. Like it was so much competition. But yes, I did see a little positive and sassy smack talk between your teams. It was a delight to watch how competitive you all were.
And then to have
It's
my
all in
brother,
love.
and then to
Yes.
have my brother be my one-on-one and help me out and come from Minnesota, because he came from Minnesota and volunteered his time to make sure that I had the cares I needed. So that's a whole nother thing. Is it's not just the coaches, but it's the big shout out to caregivers and the parents to get their athlete there to help them out to get what they need to so they can do the competitions and things.
I think he even joined in on some of the smack talking. I think he was a little shocked at first, but then he kind of joined in.
And Becky, as we wrap up here, what would you say to someone who maybe has never been to one of our events before? Maybe they're a little nervous around folks with intellectual disabilities and they're not sure if they are the right fit to come and help out. What would you say to that person to encourage them to just give it a try?
Basically that, just give it a try. You'll be surprised, and I guarantee you absolutely will have a great time. You will have an excellent time and you'll make friends and family for life. And it's just getting in there. I know sometimes it can be a little nerve-wracking at first. Bring a friend if it makes you feel better. Bring your friend to volunteer and do it together. We'll find a spot for you. We've always got different spots to put volunteers. So it's just getting your foot in the door, and then pretty soon you're all in.
Well, Becky, we can't thank you enough for everything that you do for this movement, and I can't wait to see how all of your teams continue to do this year. You are a fantastic coach and leader, and just we're so grateful for you. So thank you, Becky.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a blast.
And if Becky has convinced you, if you think this is the moment that you're ready to start the Special Olympics Wisconsin movement, please go to our website at specialolympicswisconsin.org. Continue to follow us on our social media channels on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and we will find that spot for you. Thanks so much.